Konnichiwa, viewers. Welcome to another episode of Kyoto by Night, Second Breath. Tonight, we have a little bit of follow-up from the previous scene with the tracking down of Kingu Masaru. As well, Pink Fox is going to be orchestrating some of her plans. So when we last saw, Pink Fox and Makoto was taking Kingu Masaru back to Makoto's slummy pad. And Tomoyoshi was intending on returning to be able to take Masaru to the mandarins of the court. So while Makoto is discussing with Yoshi on what Masaru's fate should be, he has asked if Pink Fox could spend some one-on-one time, try to find out what she can about what where Masaru came from, more specifics than what necessarily obligation might be able to show with respects to this room before she heads back out on her own personal needs.
Right. Pink Fox probably, well, I'm assuming that she had just arrived at, Kingu Masaru's little place, as it were. Can you give a brief description of it? Is it like an apartment or?
Yeah, so Makoto seems to have, at least under some control, a basically like a rundown apartment complex. There's a couple of the locations that are currently not being rented that he's either squatting in or renting. He's a little ambiguous on describing it, but it's not classy. It's, run down. The people here are even less likely to look you in the face when they walk by. They keep their head down, keep their nose out of other people's business. You do, because of your streetwise experience, you do see signs and indications of drug deals going on in the area. So it's not definitely not the touristy section of Kyoto. And so one of the rooms or one of the apartments that Makoto seems to have influence over, he's kind of tossed Masaru in to spend the day and requested that he wait until we can coordinate with him.
Probably before she excuse me. Probably before she comes into this place, Pink Fox would have probably picked up like a bar or two of block chocolate, because reasons, and well, I've got to use this as a prop somehow. Yeah, and she goes up to the place and raps her little knuckles on the door. Stands right, and presume it's got like one of those little peepee hole things.
Yeah.
Stands right in front of that. Not intending, of course, given her lack of height, to give him a full view into Marshmallow Heaven, but one can always dream.
Okay.
Though she does like hear something like going up to the door and like looking, and it just goes quiet for a few seconds. And if she at a later point heightens her senses and hears the sound of what can best be described of hundreds and hundreds of banana peels being peeled very rapidly, then yes, we're going to have trouble. Or maybe we're not, because we know thrashing dragons.
He does come to the door. You can see the lighting through the peephole. There's movement, so he's obviously looking through there. Then you can hear him sliding the chain and unlocking the locks before opening the door. He's wearing a bathrobe and a hooded bathrobe to cover over as much of his scars as possible, but the robe is obviously ill-fitted for somebody of his bulky frame. And hi, are we going?
Oh, not when you're dressed like that. Or chocolate. She probably holds him up like on one at a side and like.
Come in. Can we talk, please?
Yeah. Come in. He'll let her in and close the door behind.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget to put the locks on, you know. This place isn't really nice.
Yeah, he does. You can see that he's got the blinds are definitely pulled back from all the windows. So if we're not going, what's going on then?
Well, do you want to sit down? Have you got? What's the living room like? You know, is there television? Did Makoto give you, food or anything?
There's a TV and it looks like an old laptop, though the can't quite figure out the security protections. There seems to be a lot of restrictions on what I can get on the internet, but
Parental guidance is no fun.
Yeah.
And then she probably just like sits herself down on the sofa. It's probably like twice. It's probably like one of those gratuitous style ones. So it makes her. She has to like literally like hop up to get onto it. Yeah.
He
like, swings her legs back and forth as she like holds up one of the block chocolate bars.
He'll oh, thanks. He'll come and he'll sit on the sofa beside her. The sofa being of good enough quality that it has actually kind of tip from him sitting on one end and her on the other. He breaks off a piece of chocolate and just kind of puts it in his mouth.
Kitsune is obviously still already nomming on her own.
Well, it's been kind of a bit of a ride since, How are you feeling right now? Has it been?
Well, I'm concerned that I'm kind of feeling like I'm a prisoner here, which makes me a little uncomfortable. And I don't necessarily think you guys understand how important it is to destroy this room and everything linked with it.
I know how you feel at that point, but at least you're not in a cage.
Yeah. And there's windows at least. At least there's windows.
Yeah, you don't have people prodding and poking at you when you're wearing little more than, tattered pieces of clothing, and you don't even have your dignity.
Yeah, dignity's not important.
To some extent it is, but it's transitory. I know how you're feeling right now. What can you tell me about that room in that picture?
We thought it was safe. It was a safe place we could go to when we needed to hide. But when we got older and didn't need it anymore, it missed us. It called us back. And it wasn't safe anymore.
Is this the same room that you and your sister hid in?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. When we were little, it was a safe place where we could hide, and the two of us, we would play games, we would draw pictures. There's a spot for us to hide in. I guess other people found it too, because when it missed us, it called all of us back.
All?
Yeah, there was 4 of us that it called back once we were grown. And that's when things started getting intense.
Who were the others, aside from you and your sister?
They're dead now. It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry. Were they close to you?
No. I didn't know them until we were in the room together. And then it was weird. The room would have us, and then it would let us go. And then it would have us, and then it would let us go. But the more it had us, the longer it wanted to keep us and not let us go.
Where was this room? Do you remember?
I don't know. There was no doors. Didn't matter where we went. We couldn't hide from it. We would just all of a sudden be there. Sometimes we'd wake up there. Sometimes we'd be walking down the street and all of a sudden we'd be in the room.
Can you remember when you first went in the room?
When we first were there, it was a little confusing, but it was very short. We weren't there long. We barely got to know the others that were there with us. Koharu and I and the others basically just met each other, and then we were gone and we were back where we left. But each time it became longer and longer. And there was nothing to eat, nothing to do.
Can you remember where you first went to this place? Where it was before, you were taken there?
I was just at home. One of the others said that they were at a movie. They were watching a movie in the theater. My sister was painting. I don't remember what the other guy said he was doing. And then we were in the room, and then we were back doing what we were doing. The others were from around here as well. My sister and I are from Kyoto. One of the others was from Kibune. And then the other girl was from Takao.
Mm. When did it first happen? How old were you?
When it called us, I was 19. Kaharo was 21. But it wasn't a long period of time. I tried to escape. I moved to Tokyo, but it still pulled me back. It still pulled me back.
Could you speak to this room? You speak as if it was, a living thing, intelligent.
Well, it had to have been, didn't it? I don't recall it speaking. Sometimes though it would like bring back a memory. So we would find like a picture we drew when we were kids. Sometimes we would find stuff that the four of us didn't recognize. It'd just show up in the room. Um, we we had decided after a couple of times that we needed to try to break out because it was keeping us longer and longer. I carried a hammer with me wherever I went. One of the others had a hatchet. We tried smashing through, but the damage, it's like the room healed. We couldn't make a hole big enough or long enough for us to be able to see through the other side. And each time it felt like the room wanted more from us. The room wanted us to die. I'm sure of it.
Why? It's maybe a completely out of the left field thing, but could I do I know it's one of my lowest dice pools, but could I do either an occult or an enigmas roll or something like that?
Yeah, you could do an intelligence occult roll.
It's going to be interesting. Got
Okay.
1 success at difficulty 7, if that works.
Okay. It's a very unique situation. Yoshi's been describing it as a broken mirror, but the room itself, at least as this guy has been discussing it, seems to be a lot more structured and behaving differently. Usually a broken mirror you actually have to walk into, and it's only at one specific finite location. This seems to be interacting with different locations, and it pulls individuals back to it.
So basically this room, as he puts it, it's perhaps not an actual physical place, at least not in the material sense of the world.
Yes.
It's probably something like, I mean, in my head I'm thinking of some sort of Lovecraftian style dream realm, or at least something that goes around with him.
Yes. And actually, when you had used obligation on him, there was an odd spirit bond that you detected.
Yeah.
It wasn't like somebody who had mental domination on him or a guangxi or anything like that, but there was definitely some kind of spirit bond that he was linked to something.
Could I possibly try and decipher what that spirit bond is, or where it's? I mean, I know that's a shot in the dark.
Well, how about you make another obligation roll to see, to kind of get a second look at it.
Mm-hmm. That's perception plus empathy.
Perception, empathy.
Right, so I need 4 plus successes, I believe.
For complete understanding, 3 successes just to take a look at the spirit bonds.
Okay. Anyone will.
Okay.
Ooh.
So
No,
1
just one
success.
Just the 1 success.
Okay.
So.
So yeah, so you're not able to get a second look at it at this time.
Okay.
But excuse me. But yeah, from what he's saying and from what you observed the other day, it would be very easy to surmise that he's probably still connected to the room.
Okay. You remember the other day when I was telling you things, secrets that only you would know about your life?
Yeah.
I'm very perceptive to a lot of things. You know, I can, through the abilities granted to me by my Dharma, I looked at you. I wanted to know what you were and what was going on, because Yoshi, the pale-looking guy that stammered to you, he didn't give me too much, and I wanted to make sure what I was getting into. You have what we refer to as a spirit bond, but usually we use this term to denote a bond that someone might have with someone who has been put under the influence of a certain, what we call a discipline, an art. It's a very advanced level, exceptionally advanced. It's usually only able to be created between one gake, what we are, and usually a mortal. Other times, we bond ourselves into what's called a wu, a social unit, like a pack or a family. We bind ourselves with what we refer to as a nishi, or kind of a spirit that acts as a guide for us. This nishi helps create bonds, spirit bonds, between each and every one of us, so that we know, where each one of is, and we can protect each other. What I sensed was this kind of spirit bond, but it's to this room. I'm not the most sufficiently advanced on this path to discern where this room is. But from what you're telling me, and with what Yoshi has already told me about this broken mirror, it's not an actual physical place, but it's some place, perhaps elsewhere. I know it's difficult to understand, and it's a little beyond my comprehension, or at least the extent of my knowledge, but you can be rest assured, every gake in this city will want to make sure that this room, that this room won't bother you anymore.
So you're saying that I am still connected to this room? My death didn't sever the connection?
I don't know enough about these things to be able to give you a definite answer. But Makoto, the one who drove you here, he's told me he was going to ask around, hopefully call in a few favors. There are those. I am what's known as an east-facing gake. I know mostly things about things in this world. What we need is someone on the opposite side, a western-facing gake, someone who knows more about the spirits.
You think they would be able to find it so we can destroy it?
I think they will. But that's what Makoto's doing right now.
It's taking too long. We have things that we can do right now.
Yeah.
This state that I'm in is no doubt the reason I'm still connected is because both of us survived. So if we kill my sister, that may sever the connection. I have survived it.
How do you
know? Because that's what the one said when he attacked us the one time.
The one?
Yeah, one of the others had researched and said that this had happened to some before, but when All but one died. They were no longer tormented by the room.
Who is this one?
I don't care his name. He's dead. I killed him, but then my sister killed me. I was naive. I didn't want to believe it, but she obviously did. But for whatever reason, I'm in this torturous state, and there's nothing that we can do now except for destroy her and everything that's connected with this room. So you go and look all you want at ways to find this room. I know what my targets are. And he'll stand up off the couch.
And Pink Fox will... Common sense tells me to try and talk him down, so... under common... Hang on. Yang Mantle... Should I use Yang Mantle? Common sense, or...
Yang Mantle... I don't know, is that... might not hurt necessarily.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm just looking here. So Yang Mantle is only actually supposed to be for interacting with mortals. You don't get the bonuses for trying to interact. Yeah.
In that case, I've only got empathy, and I can potentially use in this. Sorry, I'm just looking through my...
No problem.
Yes. What a pickle we find ourselves in. I suppose the only thing I can do is charisma, empathy, perhaps, just to try and talk him down.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to have to spend a willpower point on this because I don't get any -1s or -2s or anything like that.
Okay.
Oh, and that's 5 successes.
Okay. And what does she say?
Basically, it's like, listen, I know that you're frustrated that nothing seems to be being done, but trust me, there are people in our society who have dealt with things like this for centuries. All we need is to have time enough for the right words to meet the right ears. And I guarantee you, whatever connection that you have to this room, they will sever. I've heard of many tremendous things that those of our blood, those of our nature can do, whether it's in this world or in the next. I know that you feel that that voice in your head is telling you that you must act. And in all honesty, if it were any other situation, I would be urging you to act. But this is something that's far beyond either any of our comprehension. Makoto will find the answer. I'm certain of it. You just have to trust that we have your interests as well. And she'll actually hold on to, take one of his hands and hold it into, kind of somewhat close to her chest. Probably looking up for them and giving them the the puppy eyes type look.
If you grab his hand, you hold him to his chest, then he's going to lift you off the ground to pull you up so that you're at his eye level. Are you going to be the one to stop me?
I want you to understand that we're all on the same side.
If you can't stop me, then you won't stop me. I am leaving right now. So unless you can stop me or give me something to destroy, I am leaving now. You can make a perception empathy roll.
Many successes.
His soul nature has changed in this conversation. It is no longer his Hun that is in control.
Common sense tells me he probably has, well, according to what they say anyway, and with that number of successes, that probably gives me an idea of what kind of nature that
Yes, actually, with from his conversation as well as that many successes, he is you're probably dealing with either a bandit or demon po nature, possibly warrior.
Pink Fox will probably just sigh. If you have to go out and destroy something, there's drug addicts locally, people who live a half-life. I know it's probably not what you want, but under the best of circumstances.
Okay, and what skill are you going to choose to encourage this? Are you going to try manipulation, empathy, or charisma, intimidation?
I don't have any intimidation, really.
Well, you don't know.
Yeah, being intimidated.
She might have that as an ace up her sleeve that she pulls out from time to time.
Yeah, like five dots in intimidation. Wow, bitch, yeah. Probably.
Bitches be crazy.
Yeah, I'm probably going to play into my. That would probably have to be either empathy or subterfuge, perhaps. It's the same dice pool either way.
I think it would be empathy. You've already been, so basically the fact that he's standing here talking with you instead of just barging out the door was because of that original charisma empathy roll. So if you can, I guess basically you're trying to manipulation empathy, you're goading him to see that as a more immediate target that he's going to be able to actually get some release from, instead of, because he has no idea where his sister is. Otherwise, he probably would have already be stalking her house. So taking out his frustrations on the locals would probably be
I'm gonna.
more advisable.
I know. I've been doing a lot of this. I know. I'm going to spend another willpower point because I get the feeling if I don't, then it's going to be a very botch, and who knows what the fuck's going to happen. I mean,
Okay.
if I do botch, he's probably going to put me over his knee or something. I don't know. Oh, anti-botch. 6 successes.
Okay.
Of course, having said that, I've probably inadvertently put him on the devil tiger path.
Then show me these weaklings that we can take care of. And he'll set you down. Well, he'll turn around and set you down between him and the door.
And Pink Fox is then probably, she's probably going to have to put chocolate away. I'm assuming he's stopped eating his chocolate.
Yeah.
And she'll probably lead him out of the place and just probably like kind of let him go out on the. Well, obviously she'll. Actually, no. Hang on a second. He's got to get dressed first.
He doesn't give a shit.
Oh, yes, and it's that.
He's heading
that
out
type of
in his ragged pants, and that's it.
Pink Fox is probably going to kind of like walk on the prowl with him. Though she's going to try and use her common sense to, avoid. She'll try and avoid us trying to create like this big, massive scene, but she'll try and urge him in the direction of like one apartment, which obviously has like maybe some sort of crack heroin, whatever.
Kate, as you guys head out, you can see that bony spikes start to pop out of his knuckles on his fists and each of his fingers.
And I recognize this as being Demon Shintai, correct?
Bone Shintai, actually.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, and if you just want to go for a generic target, it'll be a lower difficulty. If you have a more politically advisable target you want to direct him towards, but either way, it'll be a wit street-wise roll. Difficulty 6 if you're just looking for something generic. Difficulty 7 if you want to direct him to anybody specific.
Oh, it's only 3 dice. I'm going to, well, depending on how much XP I get at the end. Pink Fox is going to need to spend a few nights sleeping this off. We're trying to get people to play into her nature and demeanor, but yes, another one spent. Oh.
Okay.
Well, you said difficulty. Well, it's a good thing if it was going to be politically inclined. Yeah, so bare minimum.
Okay. All right. So directing him to a politically advantageous gang to direct him at. So you guys are going to travel a little bit. If you guys want to make, I guess it'd be dex stealth.
Oh, my special. Well, I say my specialty. Oh yes, told you my specialty.
Okay. Excellent. So the two
I don't
of
think
you
my specialty of precise comes into this though.
No. But the two of you, yeah, you're able to stalk through the nights. He is impatient. But you actually managed to guide him without encountering any stragglers that he's going to beat on while you guys are out hunting. And yeah, you get to a neighborhood where you can see, a few people walking around the streets, but you also see a couple of guys driving around on motorcycles.
Yeah. Pink Fox is probably just going to let him do what he's going to do because she's not really in a state where she can stop him at this point.
Okay. And
am I slowing down? Oh, hang on. I know what the problem is. It's my bloody virus scan.
Oh, okay.
I apologize if I'm lagging or anything.
I've observed, but okay. So yeah, he basically you're leading him through. You didn't come across anybody else on the pathway here, so he sees the cyclist just as you do, and he leaps to attack. And he definitely, actually, there would have been one more point he would have spent, so he also started to look a little bit more corpse-like. So now he actually looks like a TV show zombie because corpse-like with the wounds and everything. as he used another application of Bone Shin Tai in preparation for combat. And then between his natural size and strength and Bone Shin Tai and Black Wind, he mangles these two guys and munches on them. And yeah, he will eat to his fill. And then do you want to make a charisma empathy roll again to see if you can talk him into going back with you?
3 successes.
Okay. So he will and 1, 2, 3. And you actually also managed to maneuver in such a way that you guys don't have any other casualties on the way back, other than the two bikers that you managed to find. So, he is all right. So when you get him back, Makoto is done with his conversation. So he will, one way or another, will take Kingu Masaru for some discussion with him, and says that you and he will have a follow-up conversation at another night.
Hi.
And Pink Fox will
And now Fox is free to what she needs.
Well, considering all the excitement and hopefully having not yeah, I don't really think that that could have gone any other way but that way. I mean, I don't really feel that even, I don't think that even Pink Fox's charms could have assuaged those depraved cravings.
No, not so much.
Yes. Well, Pink Fox is probably just going to go and probably remember that she needs to get herself a new upgrade her phone, as that's a thing that she requested, that the Spirit of Technology, Falaru 7, or Falaru 7, as we refer to them off camera. She's assuming that she has time, she's probably going to get her ass to one of the shopping districts of Kyoto, and if they have time, or if they are still open, she'll go and start browsing the phones on offer, see if there's any way, or just go to the counter and ask if there's any way that they could upgrade her phone to one of the latest models.
Okay. Yes, actually, we have a recycling program where if you provide us your old phone, we can give you a discount on our top of the line phones, and it only takes a little bit to transfer over your contacts and any other information that you need salvaged from your old phone. But we find that's much better than people just selling them secondhand on, the internet or anything.
Oh yeah, totally. Is it everything that you got in there? Like, contacts, Facebook things, pictures, what else? Internet things. What other upgrades do they have with it?
She'll just go full on Genki Girl at this point.
Kate, are you gonna try to flirt to get the best deal possible?
Why not? Why not?
All
Play
right.
up there. We're going to use the appearance 5 at some point anyway.
Yeah, let's go appearance subterfuge and.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Alrighty. Okay, and. Let's check here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, well, he's like, we got quite it depends on the size of the phone that you want. We've got one that's it's a little bit bigger, that might suit your purposes. It's got it's 5.7 inches, 1080 by 1920 resolution. It's got an octa-core 64-bit 810 processor with 430 GPU, 3 gigs of RAM, 13.1 megapixel camera, optical stabilization, 3000 mAh battery. It's water resistant, dust resistant. It's one of the best ones that we got out there. And especially if you're recycling your old one, we can get everything switched over here. You got a variety of colors. Do you want black, red, white?
Do you have any other colors?
Well, there's kind of a pinkish red. But we also got smartphone cases I can probably kick in for free for you, that will fit the Aquos here, and then they come in, bright pink or with designs or whatnot on them.
Cool. I think I'll take that one,
And she'll point straight to the rather gaudy-looking pink one. Probably pink with like little sparkles and maybe like a Hello Kitty
There you
thing
go.
on it with like some sort of gothic Lolita a Hello Kitty thing on it.
For certainty, yes, we can get that set up for you. It'll just take a couple minutes. We'll get everything transferred over here. So, and he gets things set up, and you're easily able to afford it with the discount he gives you from you recycling your own old phone. And you can see that not only does he transfer all the contents, but he also deletes all the information that was on the old phone while you're standing right there, just so that you know that they're not taking anything.
Yes, because reasons. And yes, Pink Fox probably has the whole, she's squeeing out of her mind as she gets handed the phone, as it were. Pretty much like this picture here, but nevertheless, that's. Well, she doesn't say it like that. I would say it's very nice, but she would probably say it's awesome. Thank you, and she probably pays for it as you usually do. Gives the obligatory bows, say thank you and everything. Probably as she's bound, she probably does the whole, peekaboo type deal. And yeah, that gentleman is going to hate to see a good customer go.
Well, he does make sure that you realize if you have any problems with your phone whatsoever. He also asks if you want to leave your email address so that they can let you know of any upcoming deals or special upgrades available. Basically any possible excuse to call you back.
Possibly. You could always give me yours.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's, especially if the store's closed and stuff, if you got any problems, he adds it on there. This is the phone number you can contact me with, so that, you can call me anytime with problems you might have with your phone. He's blushing and obviously acting awkward.
Well, socially awkward and whatnot. Yeah.
I think with Pink Fox's appearance, everybody would get socially awkward if...
Unless they're gay. So even then, appearance 5 has to be at least capable of making someone question their sexuality. I mean, Lord knows that Jessica does. Well, yeah. Jessica's character. But then again, one of those masks has got to be attracted to other women.
There you go. She'll try anything once.
Yeah, she'll try anything. Yeah, she'll try.
Literally the motto of that Dharma.
Oh, fuck. That very nearly broke me. Not as much as the scene the other day with Charles and uh, uh, Charles and Grant, but I'll tell you about that after we finish the hangout.
Okay.
Yeah, and she'll just go with a trot in a step.
Okay.
Probably be half expecting the phone store clerk to be checking her out as she go, which she thoroughly enjoys. And she'll probably like fix up the new iDroid. I mean, I don't have that. I'm gonna have to use this. I am probably gonna get a new phone, not an iDroid. Yeah, she'll probably be like fiddling around with it just to see how it goes and everything like that. And I wonder what the spirits are thinking. She'll just probably like pop up the text messages and everything like that she already has, and see if I'm presuming that Falong 7 has already like sent a text or something like that to confirm. She'll probably, if that is the case, she'll probably like send a text message through the new phone to Falong 7 and basically like say something like, this unit has been upgraded, or at least some sort of like equivalent to that.
Okay, and I just rolled fate dice. So, yeah, actually, there would have been a text already from Falong 7, basically just saying, "Very good." By the time you get, we'll leave the store with the phone, and so
yes.
Acknowledgement there.
And Pink Fox won't be calling any supply drops on rivals' heads anytime soon. We hope.
We hope.
Yes.
But just think if you get stronger ties, what it would be like to have a Yang spirit with the power of Anonymous at your as an ally.
Yeah.
Anyhow, is there anything else that Pink Fox would like to do this evening?
Because it's become obligatory at this point, nothing that we can record.
Alrighty. In that case,
actually, no. Here's one that I wanted to use.
Okay.
She's probably going to go home and get very acquainted with both this new iPhone and her Dex specialty.
All right. Excellent. So have fun, Pink Fox. And for the viewers, sayonara.
Sayonara.